When I first started making these creative little counseling things in this little book of mine, I posted about what is something that you would want to know more about or learn about, or what is something you struggle with, right? And I got only one response because I'm still, kind of new at this, and I'm not going viral or anything like that. So the answer was overwhelm. And I know that there are so many people that can relate to that feeling of overwhelm. I especially see that with people who are neurodivergent, ADHD, autism. Their nervous system can get overwhelmed very easily. And I myself have been overwhelmed, which I'll get to my story in a minute. But I want to talk about too, like, why are we so overwhelmed? I have a lot of things that I think are the reasons. So let me get into that. First, is the information overload. We are in, the society we're living in is information overload. We have information right at our fingertips. And it can be really overwhelming to know, one, what is even the truth. I've been really dealing with that, especially lately with AI and all those kinds of things, and people making videos and making assumptions and saying things that aren't always true. But the information overload of, we are having all these inputs of social media, just TV, everything, right? Then that's all on our phones. We have easy access to notifications all the time. I've turned my notifications off like a long time ago. I've never had that notification issue. I couldn't imagine if I do. And it bit me in the butt the other day. Side story, if you would like to know how embarrassing it was. And another really embarrassing moment, because I love hearing other people's embarrassing moments. I really do. So maybe this will help you feel better about yourself if this has ever happened to you. But we have a new principal at our school, and he sent out an email on Sunday night. Well, I think it was afternoon. And he said, okay, everybody that's going to be at registration, be there at 7:15. And I don't get notifications on my phone to know that I received this email. And I'm thinking, like, I'm pulling up at 7:30. I'm like, I got this. I'm so early. I'm going to be great. Like, I'm early. Last year, I was 8 o'clock. And that was not good. So I realized and learned this year I need to be there early. But now I checked my email right before I walked in, because I went in my room and piddled around a minute and checked my email and was like, it was 7:15. I was supposed to be there at 7:15. And I walk in, he's finishing his big speech to everybody. And he's standing up. Okay, the doors are like right here. He's standing up. Everybody else is surrounding him. So literally everybody in the whole room sees me walk in behind him late. I did not like that. I did not like that. It took me a minute to get over that. And not be too embarrassed. But anyway, okay, back to our overwhelm. So we have information overload, we have notifications all over our phone, and then we have too many decisions. Like, I literally cannot walk into Walmart anymore. I will intentionally go to the really small grocery store if I have to go into a grocery store. I hate going into big stores. I hate Walmart. I will never ever go to that. Oh, what is it? Buc-ee's? No. I know everybody loves Buc-ee's. No, I will never step foot in there. It is way too overwhelming for me. Way too many choices. You mean you go to the shampoo aisle and you're looking and it's the whole dang aisle of shampoo and you have to figure out which shampoo you're going to use to wash your hair with? No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to make all of those decisions. It's decision fatigue and it's overwhelming. Am I right? Yes, I am. Okay. And so everything is options. Everything's decisions. Everything requires thinking. And that is just way too overwhelming. But it's not just this external overwhelm. It's also a mental load. So I know like lots of women can relate to this because I've seen it so many times. People talk about how the woman has to take the mental load. And I mean, maybe there's men out there that do take some mental load. And maybe it's just that like women are doing this. Also, let's say this. We do set the expectation for ourselves. Do we have to do all of those things? I mean, sometimes maybe I feel like I have to. But we can't complain about it. But we have to carry all of these things in our head. We have to carry the appointments for the kids and birthday invitations and their soccer games or baseball games or whatever. We've got to make sure the kids have lunches, that the laundry is done, that they have clothes ready to wear, all of their school papers and the paperwork, and planning the vacations and remembering the batteries. And all the Christmas presents and field trips. I mean, the list is endless. The cooking and the cleaning and making sure that like the kids are doing their chores and reminding them to do all this stuff. It's exhausting. You have to be a whole like manager of your household, which is really a full-time job, and have a full-time job. And I was working 2 jobs and trying to figure out how to run a business. I mean, now I've lost that job, but I'm trying to create this other one, and that's a whole nother story we'll get into in a minute. But one by one, that's not that much, but all together, it's a lot. It's a lot to carry. And so I, for some reason, kept thinking that my overwhelm, I didn't know that I was feeling overwhelmed. I kept thinking that I was depressed. Like, I was thinking, why do I feel like there's this cloud over my head? And like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna cry in this moment. I'm so sad. And then I'm like, what the heck am I sad about? Like, I have a beautiful home, wonderful children, like a great job. I don't have anything to be sad over. Okay, well, I mean, of course, everybody has their things to be sad over. Okay, we do. But in general, I didn't have anything to be sad over. So then I started thinking, like, what is causing this, like, weight and, like, just deep sadness? And I started to think about, like, what are some other things going on in my head, and what am I doing? Like, what am I doing right now? Oh, I'm trying to do X, Y, Z, P, Q, R, S, T, all the things. I am trying to do it all. Like, right now, I'm trying to hold all that information in my head. Wow. Actually, I'm not depressed and I'm not sad. I am overwhelmed. And so now that I know that, and like, honestly, it was just recently I connected these dots where I'm like, that sadness wasn't actually like depression. That was overwhelmed. And now I can say, okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Now, what is it that I need? Because sometimes you need different things for different reasons of overwhelm, right? And I started to think about what are the things that I needed. And sometimes I just need to like do some art, and sometimes that's too much work for me. So sometimes I just sit on my porch and breathe in the air and like listen to some calming music and watch the butterflies that come up, or start taking a little walk, or sometimes I try to just connect with my husband, and honestly, if I would crawl up in his lap. But that's actually Molly. So another good thing that I can do is pet Molly. Molly is my dog. And the other night when I was like thinking about all of this and journaling about it, she was terrified because there was a thunderstorm, and she just crawled up in my lap. And that's what she needs. Like, she knows her body is overwhelmed. She's shaking. She's, you know, doing her little whatever it's called. And I just pet her until she calms down, and she needs that connection. And sometimes that's what we need. Maybe we just need a connection. Maybe we need to just call a friend and be like, oh my gosh, I did not know this, but I'm dealing with all these things, and I just need to let somebody know that I'm feeling really overwhelmed, and we can let it out. It makes it easier for us to actually deal with. So I have some demonstrations of how I have done this with art. So I have 2 activities that I've done. I have a third one that I have listed that I have not completed a video for, but if you look into my creative, it's a creative library or something in my playlist anyway, and it shows you like how I processed through those different activities. So this one was chaos to window creation, and what I did was you can do any colors that you want, but I liked to do, in this moment, I just was like into these bright colors, and yellows and oranges, they're warm colors, right? And so I just scribbled all over a sheet of paper, and then I cut it into 4 parts, and then glued it on here and turned it into a window and made it into smaller sections, because that is the thing about overwhelm, is when we can break it down into smaller sections and only focus on one thing at a time, it can be helpful. So one of the other things that I have been overwhelmed about recently is the need to identify with being it all. Let me show you what I mean. I feel like sometimes it makes me be a bit much, but I don't know how long ago I made this, but I made this a while back, and I don't know if you'll be able to, it may be all backwards to you, I don't know. But anyway, it's like all the identities that I want to have in my life. Like, I want to be clean and organized. I'm a life changer because I like to help others. I want to be frugal so that I can, save money and deal financially to be, better off financially, whatever. I'm very determined that even though literally I might get like 5 views on this video, that I will still create, because I know that even if I just reach one person that this could be helpful for, then I did what I wanted to do. Plus, it helps get it out of me into the world. I want to be spiritual. I want to be healthy and confident. I want to be thoughtful and think about other people and mention it when I know that they are hurting or in pain, or even if it's just like their birthday, or that, I found out something with their job and I want to be thoughtful and let them know that I am thinking about them. I literally think about people all day long, and like a lot of times I think about the students that I've had, like probably more than I should admit that I do, but I care so deeply that it can be very, very hard to hold. And then I'm loving. That kind of goes in with that thoughtfulness. And then I'm adventurous. I like to go camping and traveling, and I like to discover and do new things, and I'm always up for the novelty of a new adventure. And I am family oriented because I really, really love my family. And I try to do all of these things and hold them all at the same time. And I can't do that. I can't be all of those things, and I can't do all of these things at the same time. I have to create this little window, create this little space to do it in. So I'll show you the second one. Is very, very similar to that one. Oh, I have it upside down. Anyway, it was this one. Now it looks like a mess. It looks like a hot mess. I get that. And actually underneath this that you can't see are baskets, but I scribbled on a sheet of paper again and focused on the different colors, and then I tore the paper into strips to get out and release that energy, because just like tearing something is so therapeutic. When you're overwhelmed, you're kind of like frustrated with all of these things, and just that energy of rip can be very, very satisfying. So I ripped at the paper, and then I sorted it into the colors and tried to like glue them into the baskets that are non-existent. And ironically, you know, it's still overflowing because, you know, overwhelm is feels like it's continuing forever and ever and ever. So anyway, that was more about the process. I'm not trying to make it look beautiful, but it was the process of scribbling on this paper, tearing it up, and sorting it so that we can focus on one thing at a time. When I'm a life changer, I'm only the life changer. When I'm dealing with my finances, I'm only dealing with my finances. When I'm trying to be healthy and confident, I'm not thinking about anything else except doing healthy habits, right? So making sure that when you are feeling overwhelmed, think about what in this particular moment do I need to do in order to be okay. And I mean, first of all, you've got to get your nervous system out of like this crazy feeling, taking a break, finding what works for you. Obviously, you have to be a detective and know yourself and your body and your needs. I can't like do that for you, but get your nervous system where it needs to be. And it could be, you know, food and rest, and it could be exercise, things like that as well. And then I wanted to also leave you with the last thing that is like one of my favorite Bible verses, and that is Matthew 6:34. So he says, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." So when we feel overwhelmed, like remember what Matthew says, like it's okay. Like don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about all these other things. We're only going to focus on today and what today holds and that we need to do to get to the next step, right? So this week, be a detective. And when you feel this heavy cloud like I felt, I don't know if it feels that way for you, tell me, comment and tell me, like, how does overwhelm feel for you in your body? It can be different. How do you recognize overwhelm in your body? I would love to know all the different ways, because I only know like what it is for me. And then obviously, you know, like and subscribe, because I need to get my video out to the right people who, you know, I can help and let them feel less alone. Yeah. And until next time, I'll catch you later.